You are a catalyst. A catalyst is an element that provokes or speeds like significant change or action. It happens in nature 1,000,001 times a day as a rote automatic function. And yes, you are a catalyst. You are a catalyst. You are instantly shifting the energy around you. It doesn't matter if you're conscious or unconscious of this fact. Hello, my friends. Welcome to my very first episode of the Catalyst Code. I'm Diane Armitage, and ever since I decided to do a podcast, I've been kind of wondering why I felt so compelled to do a podcast. And it finally landed on me the other day. You are just too important to sit there with all that power in you, not knowing that you've got all that power in you. I mean, for the first 25 years of my life, I felt like trying to achieve vast improvement in my life was so hard. It was so much work. I was climbing and striving and working so many hours. And although I was making incremental progress, and I don't know, I guess you could call it solid success, there were just so many circumstances and blocking tackles. And though I had moments of shining, blissful success, I felt that most of those pinnacles came after a lot of exhausting climbing and muddy, slippery slopes. It's kind of like the mud run at Camp Pendleton that I used to do. About once a year, the Marines let the public in to run their 10K obstacle course, and we pay for that honor. And you crawl on your belly. I mean, they call it like a commando crawl. Like, that's so much better than crawling on your belly under these fence things. And you swim across lakes and you climb up these walls and you finally get to this gigantic hill. And you're trying to scrabble up this dirt hill, and it's really not dirt anymore because the Marines are all standing at the top, just hosing the hill down, hosing you down as you're trying to, gamely climb up this slippery, terrible quagmire of a slope. Now, I felt like that a lot when I was trying to make my way up in business. Like 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. I mean, you've heard that phrase. Someone older than you always said that to us with kind of like a shrug. Oh, it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. While lodging that terrible phrase in our heads, I was tired of that kind of shuffle. And right about that time, all of the serendipities of the world got together in some kind of one-day conference and put one person in my path. Now, this was all the way back in 1994, 31 years ago. And he scooped me up and he made me his writing partner for the next 27 years. Now, his name was Bob Proctor, and he was one amazing teacher focused on teaching and helping a world of people learn about their personal power and step into their personal power. I mean, we wrote together pretty much every week, often every day, until just a couple weeks before he passed in February of 2022. Now, as this podcast rolls along, you're going to hear me talk about all kinds of conversations that Bob and I had together, things that I learned while we wrote probably millions of words together to help people rise up into their lives. And really, in that 27 years until he passed, it really, for me, it was me sitting in this awesome, one-of-a-kind, decades-long apprenticeship. A Padawan, in Star Wars terms, to the Jedi Master. And in that time frame, my life flipped from night to day. Now, initially, I thought it was kind of extraordinary. And then the really extraordinary thing happened when I just began living extraordinary pretty much every single day. And that's what you deserve. And that's why I'm here, because this whole tedious climb to getting what you really want stuff, it's a farce. You actually have the ability right now to take explosive leaps forward when you have a catalyst to get in the middle of the typical process and propel you forward. Now, Price Pritchett called this quantum leaping. He wrote an entire book, actually it's a very small book, but a really powerful book called U Squared. And he said that the concept is one of exponential gains rather than incremental progress. Quantum leaps can come without even apparent effort. Now, another of my great mentors, Jay Abraham, always used to say to me, geometric expansion is fine, But why not go for exponential gains instead? They take less time. So for 27 years, I helped Bob Proctor teach people that exponential gains are not only possible, but already fully and capably built inside each and every one of us. And I know that this helped millions of people realize more fulfilling lives. Well, back in 2019, Bob told me that it was time for me to start writing my own curriculum, start teaching my own curriculum, instead of writing for him and all the many others that I was writing for. And I did start doing that. And I've been teaching and mentoring hundreds and hundreds of people since, and I've created hundreds and hundreds of hours of lessons and teaching. And it's been awesome to see these lives just bloom and boom, right? But in the last few months, I just felt like, well, I know, because Bob never made any bones about it, I know he's urging me to take all of this to a bigger world. There's a great book called This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. Reverend Michael Beckwith of Agape introduced me to it. And it was in, I think, the second chapter, he wrote one of my most favorite passages of all. Now, I'll paraphrase this. He said, suppose you place your current physical environment, including your body and your conscious mind, at one end of a line over here. This is where all of your daily hopes and aspirations, your fears and failures exist. It's where you exist, over here. And at the other end, way down there, you place where you really want to be, where you deserve to be. At the end of this line, everything is perfect. Everything is realized. All of your highest hopes and dreams have been achieved. Now, you might look all the way down that line and feel like there is no way I can get there. Because I have tried and I have tried and I have tried, and look where I still am. I'm still over here. You feel isolated, wandering in the desert, climbing endless mountains, lost in forests, fording rushing streams in the turmoil of your life, searching, wondering, hoping, longing, yearning, just to get over there to that life. If you only knew that this barrier between where you are here and where you can be there is something that can easily be bridged with tools you've already got. The better part of your journey would already be done. You would know that you already have the tools to cut down the forests, level the mountains, bridge the streams, and cause the deserts to bloom. And once you learn how to do this, you not only create a whole lot better in your life, but it's a lasting better. You know, something that actually sticks and continues to work instead of some kind of 5-minute shot of enthusiasm after the last motivational seminar you went to, or the book you read, or the YouTube clip that you watched. You know, I'm a big fan of Keanu Reeves, and I love the movie The Matrix. There's a scene there where Morpheus tells Neo, free your mind, Neo. And then Morpheus takes off running and he launches from one skyscraper to the other, you know, way over there. And he nails the landing, right? So Neo, he's over here at this skyscraper and he backs up as far as he can against the wall and he rubs his hands together and he tells himself, free my mind, free my mind, free my mind. And he takes off running and he makes this leap. And about midway in thin air between the two skyscrapers, he freaks out and he falls hundreds of feet to the trampoline like asphalt below. Gaboo, gaboo, gaboo. Remember that scene? That's what I mean by a 5-minute shot of enthusiasm. Before I landed on this epic shift for myself, I used to have a lot of moments like that. You get stoked. You're going to take this thing on. Yeah, you've got this new goal. You're going to take this thing down. Maybe you want more money. Maybe a lot more money. Maybe you want a raise or a better position at work or a better job, period. Maybe you just want to quit your job and do what you keep wanting to do, but you don't know how you're going to make the money. Maybe you just need a kick of confidence to actually move into something you've always wanted to do, you know, your passion project. That's what most of the clients who come to me for mentoring tell me. They've tried this. They've tried that. They've worked themselves to the bone. Some have had great success, but they just can't sustain the effort. Now, others can't seem to create the sustainable success that they know they deserve. It's just this yo-yo, you know, like up and down. And sometimes they're just too petrified to try at all, no matter what the issue. It pretty much ends up working out the same way. Very, little progress forward. Sitting here in your life, looking over there and saying, I feel like I deserve that. I know I really want to have that. The life you've lived up to today isn't because you're lacking some special power. You dropped into this planet with all the power. I mean, let's face it, there's no one like you on the planet. You have this mixing bowl of skills, talents, and abilities that no one on this planet can even duplicate or replicate. In fact, there's never been anyone in the history of the planet with your skills, talents, and abilities. Way back in about 2005, 20 years ago already, I wrote a long audio script for Bob Proctor that was called Creators, Catalysts, and Polka Dotted Fish. And I wrote somewhere in there, I don't remember where it was, that you didn't just get whipped up on an assembly line of legs and arms and ears. And if the anteater and if the polka dotted fish, that big neon one that's down there at the bottom of the ocean, and the giraffe, I mean, man, is that a strange one, the giraffe. If all those creatures landed on this planet to do their own individual thing, imagine all the ability you have on this planet to do your own individual thing. And unlike any polar bear or panda bear or koala bear or that fabled or not so fabled Bigfoot Sasquatch guy out there, you've not only been gifted with the ability to create, you've been given the thinking and strategic skills to actually choose what you're going to create for your life. I'm going to say that again. You have been given the thinking and strategic skills already to actually choose what you're going to create for your life. George Bernard Shaw once said, imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine. And at last, you create what you will. I mean, pretty cool magic tricks you've got stowed up your already existing magician's sleeve. You have the unique ability to pick ideas out of the ether, like a child fishing from a stocked pond. The whole world is your option. I mean, Dr. Seuss got it right when he wrote that book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. I mean, what did he say? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to have around you? It's all your choice. It's your option. You are a creative, energetic being with a palette of choices arrayed before you. You are a catalyst. A catalyst is an element that provokes or speeds like significant change or action. It happens in nature 1,000,001 times a day as a rote automatic function. And yes, you are a catalyst. You are a catalyst. You are instantly shifting the energy around you. It doesn't matter if you're conscious or unconscious of this fact. You do it anyway. 1,000,000 times a day. It's rote. You can't stop being a catalyst any more than you can stop an avalanche billowing down a hill. And you have the ability to act as a thinking catalyst every day of your life. And I'm here to help you with small nudges in this podcast on life, business, marketing, mindset, everything I can think of to get your energy flowing in the right direction to create that whomp, right? Whatever high diving board of dreams you stand on, and you've put your toes right to the edge and you're standing up there quivering, understand that you're on this planet to create. You have every ability to jump into a big, colorful, passionate life that's all your own and touches the lives of hundreds, even thousands of people you might not even see or notice. You have that much energetic power as a catalyst right now. And once you start flowing with the true nature of you and stop fighting and feeling tackle blocked by all this circumstance and interference and situation, you will finally come to understand that you are the ripple effect for your world. You are the ripple effect for your world. When the movie Spirited came out, I think it came out in 2022 maybe, with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. I watched that movie so many times. If it had been on one of those old VHS tapes, the tape would have just sprung. It would have snapped. And the best song in the entire movie got cut from the movie and was put in the end credits. In fact, you can actually find it on like iTunes or whatever. It's actually called Ripple Cut Song. That's what it's called. And the YouTube of it is amazing because it shows the entire dance routine that they did while they're singing the song. But wow, I mean, just think about it. What they're saying, what he's singing in this song, he says, can we really make a ripple with our feet up while we float, too afraid to rock the boat? If we never test the waters, we'll never know just how far the ripples go. This life of yours, it's no one else's opportunity but your very own. Welcome to the Catalyst Code. Let's get moving.